All right, today we are going to do a quick pocket dump, talk about the stuff I've been carrying. And a lot of it is not actually here. I got some stuff up here that I've carried over the course of a couple of weeks. Actually, now probably close to 2 months. So I got a bunch of cool things to show you, some considerations in the budget realm as well. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. This is my current EDC. So without any more delay, let's get to it. This is my EDC for August 2nd, starting with the one on the right. This is the Andrew Demko AD 20.5. A really, really awesome, very pocketable knife that has the new shark lock. It is a production model of his custom AD 20. Kind of hard to get right now, but still will end up coming back in stock. I'll keep people aware of that as it comes out. And then the other things I've been carrying, so this is sort of just the last couple of days, but this wallet has been something I've carried quite a bit recently. So this is an adaptation of a notebook organizer that I designed and was built by Country Bear Company. Really incredible work he does with great products, just high quality leather. And this is a notebook, it's like a wallet organizer, right? We got cards, we got my tools on the outside, and we also have a notebook. This is a small Write in the Rain notebook they started making only recently, and I do highly recommend them. For people like me who won't write down anything if they don't have a notebook, this is a particularly good one to have. In it, I've been carrying pretty much entirely the Damned Designs Sidekick. This is a prototype, so it has a slightly different design from what actually became production, but it has a full hex bit driver in the end, a tritium vial as well as a level, and rulers on the side. It's been a really, really useful tool I've used quite a bit, and it fits perfectly in this slot. The other thing I've been carrying quite a bit is this. This is a custom jet setter. Now what it is I bought these scales and took apart another Victorinox tool and basically added the pen slot to a jet setter combination. So this is a really, really compact bladeless system, and I've used this screwdriver a surprising amount, and it's been really useful. It also provides a really good spot to grab it for a pen. So if I'm not carrying this part, which got the full-size pen, this has my pen and goes with my notebook. So this is the pen that's part of this whole system. So this is basically all I have to carry with this and maybe a knife, and then I'm good to go. So today I'm testing out also the Tale of Knives. I think this is the Tux T. I'm trying to remember the exact name. I'll put it in the description. So this is was a couple weeks, actually, like 6 weeks I waited for this one to come in. And this is designed for their full-size flashlights. I have in there currently, this is the D3C by EagleTac or EagleTac, and it is a phenomenal flashlight. We'll talk a little bit more about flashlights in a second, but it carries a multi-tool, a flashlight, and a pen on a clip. And the reason I wanted this is because lately I've not been wearing my normal pants that have a lot of pockets. I've been wearing shorts. So being able to like go to the pool, take this off, put it in a bag, and I have put this back on. I know this is more than most people carry, but for me, this has been a really nice design. I do like being able to attach and disattach these types of organizers. And I think in the summer specifically, this makes more sense than just a normal holster design. So that's what I'm trying out. We'll see how that goes. But so far, especially with the multi-tool, it works really well. And I always carry it on my left side. I do that because I want something that is on my left that I can actually access one-handed blade. And the P4 is one of the few tools that have a one-handed left-handed blade. So in addition to having access with my right hand, I now have something with my left. So if for whatever reason in safety I cannot use my right hand, I have something on my left in which I can manipulate that gives me a blade. I know that sounds a little silly, but for me, this was one of the few tools that actually can accomplish that. So really, really good system, and the push-up works really well. Push it up, pull it out, good to go. So I'm still testing this. I just got this a couple days ago, but looks great. Quality is excellent. we'll definitely be seeing how this goes. And then so here's the deal with keys. I hate keys, hate them. And I go back and forth and I test different things and I try different things. And this is just something fun I decided to throw together as a small project. So this is just 1/2 inch elastic that I've stapled to hold it all together and then wrapped with some electrical tape to kind of make it more pretty. But the funny thing about it is it actually works incredibly well. I think what I do like is having something attached and then something kind of on a elastic lanyard that lets me unlock a house without having to take anything off. So I do like that. I like not having to have little attachment components. Nothing rattles on this when it's sitting inside my pocket. And the length in which it dangles in my pocket means this just comes above the bottom of my my right or left pocket, depending on where I'm putting it. And then it doesn't kind of lay sideways and look all bulky. So I kind of like that. I just testing this as a project. Now, what are the things I've been carrying? Let's start with the pocket knives. So I've been on kind of a budget kick lately, things that are actually reasonable for people to carry. And I wanted to go as far down as I could. So these 2 knives have been the other 2 that I've carried the most, and they are both $20. So this actually has like a secondary blade on it. This is the Roxxon multi-blade knife. So the way this works is it actually works like a takedown. So you can pop it open and you get access to the blade, put it back on. I'm gonna try to do this. And then just boom, boom. And there you go. So it actually has a bunch of different blade designs. The interesting thing I found out later is that the original blade, it comes with a 5CR, but the replacement blades that you can buy separately are actually 8CR, which is pretty interesting. So this is an 8CR 13 MOV, and they come ridiculously sharp and very, very cool for the $20 price point. Also in the $20 price point, this is the SRM. And let's see if I can remember the model. The model is 9211. So this is a crossbar lock design with G10 handles. This is a 8CR blade, and it has hollowed out liners, G10 spacer, deep carry pocket clip with recessed screws. So for $20, this is probably the silliest deal you can possibly get right now. I haven't done my individualized review, but it's surprisingly good. The only drawback I have with it so far is that if you do have to take it apart, there are 2 sets of washers, 2 on each side, and that would be very hard to reassemble. So that's the only downside that I've found so far. I actually like the thumb stud. I didn't think I would, but the way I like this thumb stud is it actually works quite well. It's in the right position too for flicking it open. So like this knife for $20, I think it's really hard to beat. Nice long blade, and what a cool shape. Isn't that cool shape? I really like this one. So those have been my 3 knives. Now, as far as multi-tools, you saw the P4. That the only reason I carry the P4 is when I have a holster. I don't find that they're particularly convenient with EDC. My multi-tools that I've been carrying are on the 1/2 kind of ratio. So I've been carrying the P2, surprisingly, quite a bit. I've also been carrying, of course, my 11 Signal, which I carry quite often. And these are, if I'm carrying these, I'm not carrying a folding knife. I'm also not carrying a holster. It's like basically this, and then my keys. So that's basically all I'm carrying, right? So of course, we have my Signal. I have a bunch of varieties, different color combinations, but you know, we got the black and the red going right now. And the other one I'm surprised to find myself carrying quite a bit is actually the P2. Now, I have some qualms with this tool, obviously, but I think the P2 size, when you're talking about these small components on the inside, they make more sense than they do in the P4, where it's trying to do a lot. In this case, I don't mind the small implements as much. The big thing I dislike is the partially serrated blade. Now, you can see I've actually flattened those serrations because they were so bad at catching, they would just hang up on everything. So I did improve, in my opinion, the serrations slightly, but I would really wish that if they do another iteration of this, that they use a straight blade instead. But size-wise, these are identical in weight. These are 7.4 ounces, I believe. So they are very, very good for the EDC market. They are a little heavy for some people, which is why I also sometimes will carry the last multi-tool here, and that is my Skeletal CX. So this has a straight blade as well as an additional hammer. So this is a pretty cool little addition. This is from Metrograde's Goods. I have a bunch of these and they work pretty well. Not only does this one have a hammer here, it also has a hammer here, so you can go like that. It's a really, really neat system. So in addition to the multi-tools, I do occasionally carry what I like to call pocket knives. So anything that has multifunctional, Victorinox, and so on and so forth. And the one I have been carrying pretty much as my only pocket knife in this setup has been the Up knife. Now, this is not something I've reviewed yet, but it is probably the one multifunctional knife, multi-tool, whatever you want to call it, that I've been more wrong about than anything else. So this thing has really outperformed my expectations. Every time I think it needs a different kind of blade shape, I find a use for that rocking capability, the saw, the various different functionalities of it. It's just a unique piece that I've just not, it's the most surprising of all of the things that I own practically. And it's a good example of why you should never judge a book by its cover. I will be doing an individual review of this at some point, but definitely something to check out. Not many of those are available. They are handmade here in the US. So that kind of covers most of it. Now, I've got a couple new things that I've been really enjoying. I just got this in the mail. This is from Teal Designs. This is actually a pry tool made here in the US in steel, and it is black oxide. It has a pocket clip. It has storage for 2 full-size hex bits, and it has the capability of being used both inline up here as well as being 90 degrees. So this is a really cool heavy-duty multifunctional screwdriver and pry tool. So I'm curious to see how these are evolving across the board. I'm seeing these pop up all over the place, different takes on it, and I love it. This is what I want to see, and I'm really, really excited to talk more about this in an upcoming video of the things I'm excited about in 2021. So there's that. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about today is the other wallets one that I've tried. So let's pull these over here. So the first one, this is made by Get Set Gear. This was a wallet that he sent to me to try out for a while, and of all the wallets that I have that are just wallets, this is probably my favorite. You can open it up and you actually have access to bifolded cash. This is not a minimalist wallet. This is what I would call a modern wallet, and I use the differentiation with how the bills are folded. If I can bifold the bills comfortably, then it's a modern wallet if it's a newish design, or if I have to trifold it, then it's a minimalist wallet. That's how I define it. On top of that, I've also been using this. This is from Giltech, and it is an aluminum wallet, and where this has been really fun to use is when I'm going down to the pool, because I can kind of get it, I don't care if it gets wet. So this has been really cool. These are still available, pretty inexpensive for a beautiful CNC milled anodized wallets. These are really, really neat. I did know that you could have gotten these in titanium, which I'm sad to say I don't have, but very, very cool nonetheless. The last thing we'll talk about is flashlights, which is, I'm testing so many. I'm not going to go into these. I just want to iterate that I have tried and am continuing to try many, 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 many flashlights. The real winners here have been the ones I'm showing right now. These are the ones that are made in the USA. These are the Peak flashlights here. I have a AA flashlight that I couldn't find, as well as flashlights by EagleTac or EagTac. Now these are the aluminum variants of the flashlights here. So this is the D25C, this is the D3C, which is in titanium, as well as this. This is the Zebralight SC5C, probably the most powerful pure AA flashlight in a high CRI that I own or have seen. And I will mention the best UI of any flashlight I've ever used, period. So as you can see, I'm always trying new things, always testing new things. I'd love to hear in the comments what you have found in recent times, what you're interested in, or something that maybe I should check out. I'm happy to look at it, and maybe I'll get it, and maybe I'll be able to test it and review it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't hurt, and it certainly helps me quite a bit to notify you guys. When new products come out, I can do that. I usually leave comments in community posts, so you have to be notified to see those. And yeah, so you guys have a great August, and we'll try to get to this again soon.